Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. I am Harrison Graham, and I appreciate you guys for checking out today's video. Let's get to some rumors. Dive right on in here. Is Yannick Ngakoue going to become a Chicago Bear? Bleacher Report has linked Ngakoue to the Bears in free agency. We've certainly talked about it quite a bit on this channel, but now that a new publication has mentioned it, we'll go ahead and revisit it here. Here's Alex K. of Bleacher Report on Yannick Ngakoue. He says, at this point in his career, Yannick Ngakoue is a known entity who does one thing at a high level, rush the passer. While Ngakoue isn't a perfect edge defender, his lack of contributions in the run game limits his usage. He's a fantastic pass rusher who regularly tallies up sacks year in and year out. And that's the bottom line, right? You need pass rushers, period, if you're the Chicago Bears. Yeah, he's not an elite run stopper, but you know what? You don't have any elite pass rushers, and Ngakoue is as close to that there is remaining in NFL free agency. I like the DeMarcus Walker addition. He had 7 sacks last year. I think as a rotation piece, Travis Gibson and Dominique Robinson can be decent players, but Yannick Ngakoue at worst is a heavy rotation pass rusher, and at best is a quality starter on a defensive line. Yeah, third and short, you probably don't want him in there because he's not going to do a good job of sealing the edge. But when it comes to getting after the quarterback, all the guy does is produce 8 or more sacks every year of his career. I don't know how many times I have to say that. 9.5 last year, 10 the year before. Like, he does it everywhere he goes, and it's just so bizarre to me that he's not a player that teams want more. It's very, very interesting. So if you're asking me, go sign Yannick Ngakoue to a 1 or 2 year deal, and let's go rack up some sacks. Go give me 16 to 20 sacks over the next 2 seasons. And then hopefully by then the Bears defensive line is in a better place with draft picks, other signings in the future, etc. And Ngakoue can help this team now. He can help them for the next couple of seasons if they want to go that route. I don't understand. Maybe Ryan Poles doesn't like the fit, but you know what? You need pass rushers. You just don't really have any. If you want the Bears to sign Yannick Ngakoue, type me below. You're going to get hit with an ad break right here from YouTube. Pin comment, reply with me if you want the Bears to sign Yannick Ngakoue. Let's talk Cole Kmet, and is he not going to receive a contract extension? Well, I still think he could, but Courtney Cronin of ESPN kind of had a piece on ESPN.com for the Bears section of this article and talked about the tight end position a bit and how the Robert Tonyan signing could impact a potential Cole Kmet extension, even though Tonyan's only on a 1-year deal. Here's what Cronin had to say. One thing we heard, talk about what she's heard, Tonyan, who has a career 77.8% catch rate and averages 10.5 yards per reception, has the Bears eager about his ability to stretch the field. I'm hearing that Chicago coaches envision fellow tight end Cole Kmet playing more of the wide position where he'll be counted on as a blocker. Kmet is eligible for an extension this offseason. Keep an eye on how this affects what the Bears opt to do with the potential second contract. And I do like the 1-2 punch of Cole Kmet and Tonyan, and Kmet is certainly a better blocker. And if they envision Tonyan having a heavy workload as a receiving threat at tight end and don't use Kmet in that area as much, then that could impact things. Tonyan the last couple of years hasn't been quite as productive, although this past season still had the catches and yards. He just didn't have the touchdown production. I mean, the 2020 season was a bit of an anomaly. I don't think double-digit touchdowns is super realistic, but could he give this team 6 or 7? I think that's definitely a possibility. Now, Cole Kmet, on the flip side, he had 7 touchdowns this year as well. Definitely his most complete season as a Bear. Continued to improve as a blocker, had 50 catches, 544 yards, and those 7 touchdowns. I still think extending Kmet makes sense because, for one, Tonyan's on a 1-year deal, so were you not going to extend Kmet and then risk entering next offseason with no answers at the tight end position? I don't know. Maybe they draft a tight end this year that they really like a Darnell Washington or something like that. I think there are different possibilities, but Ryan Poles said after the season he really likes Cole Kmet. If he can get him at a price tag on a 2 or 3 year extension, that makes sense. I think it also makes sense, so we'll keep an eye on it, but maybe the Tonyan thing does impact things and they want to play out this year instead. So what do you guys think? Will Chicago sign Cole Kmet to a contract extension? Type S for sign or P for pass. I still think signing him to one. The pros outweigh the cons, but maybe Poles takes more of a patient approach and waits until after the 2023 season. Now, subscribe and join us tomorrow. We're going to go live for a special Chicago Bears Now Live Friday edition. We always go live on Tuesdays, but had a lot of fun during free agency going live almost every single day. So going to go live tomorrow on Friday, and hey, if we have a big audience and have some fun, maybe this will become more of a norm moving forward. We'll have to wait and see. So join us tomorrow. I'm not sure exactly what time. Subscribe, turn on notifications. That way you know when we go live. I would guess somewhere between 1 and 3 o'clock Central Time we'll go live, hang out for an hour or two, and have a good time. So we will see you guys then. Okay, let's continue here with our Bears Rumors Roundup. Could Chicago trade for Derrick Henry or Austin Ekeler? I found this one puzzling, but I do want to talk about it here. Pro Football Focus has linked the Bears to both running backs that have been mentioned on the trade market. Derrick Henry, of course, one of the best pure runners in football. He's more of your traditional running back. Ton of carries, ton of workload over the years, and that was no different last year. 1,500 yards on almost 350 carries. Decent, catching the football. He's improved at that throughout his career. He's certainly not a major threat in that regard. Had 33 catches, almost 400 yards, 13 touchdowns. All those were rushing. Austin Ekeler, more of a kind of, he could do it all, right? 900 yards rushing, 700 receiving, had 200-plus carries, 100-plus catches, 18 total touchdowns. All of that being said, this really makes no sense whatsoever, trading for one of these running backs. Number one, the Bears have too many needs to be trading a draft pick for a running back, especially after having Khalil Herbert and signing D'Onta Foreman and Travis Homer. Now, are Derrick Henry and Austin Ekeler potentially better than any running back the Bears have? Yeah, they are, but you don't really need one. Your 1-2-3 punch is kind of set. Now we'll see who the starter ends up being between Herbert and Foreman. Travis Homer, I think, will unseat Treston Ebner as RB3, but you don't really need to go reach for a Derrick Henry or a Austin Ekeler. Like, if you do that, are you trading Khalil Herbert? You just signed Foreman. I don't think he's going anywhere. So I think the Bears could opt to draft a running back this year in the middle rounds because it is a loaded draft and Foreman's on a one-year deal and, Homer's not expensive, so you could certainly draft somebody and move on from one of those pieces after this year. But I think you're set, though, for this year. Your 1-2 punch of Herbert and Foreman, whichever direction it ends up being, is in place. You got your scat back in Homer. Ebner, we'll see what he shows in his second year, but I think the Bears are set at running back. I think the idea of trading for Austin Ekeler or Derrick Henry, I think that ship sailed when they signed D'Onta Foreman. Are the Bears set at running back? Do you agree with me? Type Y for yes, type in for no. I think they are. I don't see a major move coming. Again, they could draft one, but I think they're in a pretty good place. All right, guys, appreciate all the support that you guys have continued to show me here on Chicago Bears Now. You can also show that support on social media at HGramNFL on Twitter. Same handle on Instagram at HGramNFL. Remember, we'll be live tomorrow on the channel, so subscribe and turn on your notifications for that, and we will see you soon here on Bears Now.